It's time to be upset. Because we're going to talk, chat, you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about insurance for a little while. We're going to talk about insurance and my deep-seated hatred for insurance. Hold on, I got to sippy, though. Oh, God, please no. I love insurance. Insurance company accused of using secret software to illegally collect and sell location data from millions of Americans. So this is... I can explain to you the entire story without us even going to the article. So a lot of what do they call them? Car insurance providers in America will have an app that goes along with the car insurance that will track your driving and see, like, are you stopping really fast? Are you speeding? Are you, like, it basically just tracks, like, are you using your phone while you're driving? Like, all this stuff. And if you have a good score, if you don't do a lot of that stuff, you actually get discounts on your car insurance. It can be pretty significant. It can be up to 30%, like 40% in some cases, if you have a good driving record. I used one of those for a while. I hated it. Yeah. But so the thing is, obviously, this is an app that is collecting a bunch of data on you and your driving patterns. And what they found was Allstate was actively taking that information and selling it. They were selling it to car manufacturers. Duh. You can't do that. Allstate slammed the lawsuit after a scheme to spy on millions of Americans is uncovered without their knowledge or consent. Yep. Oh, they were selling it. Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha, idiot. Gotcha. Here is the lawsuit itself. Yeah, completely unsurprising, honestly, for fucking scumbag insurance companies. That's just what they do. That is just what they fucking do. Like... now, oh no, how did I not see this coming? I know, right? But so here's the actual lawsuit. Let's read a little bit of it. Plaintiff, the state of Texas. Look, the entire state of Texas, acting by and through the Attorney General of Ken Paxton, brings action against the defendant, the Allstate Corporation, defendant Allstate Insurance Company, defendant Allstate Vehicles, and Property Insurance Company, collectively, for violating the Texas Data Privacy and Securities Act, code 541001. Description. Defendants, a series of companies owned by insurance giant. Defendants, the Allstate Corporation, conspired to secretly collect and sell trillions of miles of consumers' driving behavior data from mobile devices and in-car devices and vehicles. Defendants used the illicitly obtained data to build the world's largest driving behavioral database, housing the driving behavior of over 45 million Americans. The defendant created the database for two main purposes. One, to support the Allstate defendant's car insurance business, and two, to profit from selling the driving behavior data to all third parties, including other car insurance carriers, insurers. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, is that they could sell the data, if they could sell the data to other car insurance companies so that they would have the same data on people's driving habits and be able to insure them accordingly. So basically charge them, if the person didn't have a great driving record, they could then charge them more for the insurance. Isn't that dystopian? Isn't that awesome? Let's see. Millions of Americans, including Texas, were never informed about nor consented to defendants' continuous collection of sale of their data. Defendants covertly collected much of their trillions of miles of data by maintaining active connections with consumers' mobile devices and harvesting the data directly from their phone. Defendants developed an integrated software into third-party apps so that when a consumer downloaded their third-party app into the phone, they also unwillingly downloaded defendant's software. Once defendant's software was downloaded into a consumer device, holy shit, they literally malwared people. Defendants could monitor the consumer's location and movements in real time. Through software integrated by the third party, defendants directly pulled a litany of valuable data directly from consumers' mobile phones. They included a phone geolocation data, accelerometer data, magnetometer data, and gyroscopic data, which monitors details such as the phone altitude, longitude, latitude, bearing, GPS time, speed, and accuracy. To encourage developers to adopt Defendant software, Defendants paid app developers millions of dollars to integrate Defendant software into their apps. Defendants further incentivized developers participation by creating generous bonus incentives for increasing the size of their data set. According to Defendants, the apps integrated with their software currently allow them to capture data every 15 seconds or less from 40 million active mobile connections. This is fucking horrific. Holy shit. Once collected, Defendants found several ways to monetize their ill-gotten data, including by selling access to Defendants' driving behavior databases to other insurers and using the data from Allstate Defendants' own insurance underwriting. If a consumer requested a car insurance quote or had to renew their coverage, insurers would access the consumer's driving behavior in Defendants' database. Insurers then used the consumer's data to justify increasing their car insurance premiums, denying them coverage, or dropping them from the coverage entirely. Defendants marked and sold the data obtained through third-party apps as driving data, reflecting consumers' driving habits despite the data being collected from and about the location of a person's phone. More recently, however, Defendants have begun purchasing data about vehicles, operations directly from the car manufacturers. Defendants ostensibly did this to better account for their inability to distinguish whether a person was actually driving based on the location and movements of their phone. The manufacturers and the defendant purchased data from include Toyota, Lexus, Mazda, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Jeep, Maserati, and Ram. Allstate Defendants have used the data for their own insurance underwriting purposes as well. Consumers did not consent nor were aware of Defendants' collection of sale of immeasurable amounts of sensitive data pursuant to the agreements with app developers. Defendants has varying levels of control over the privacy disclosures and consent language that apps developers presented and obtained from consumers. However, Defendants never informed consumers about their extensive data collection, nor did Defendants obtain consumers' consent to engage in such data collection. Finally, Defendants never informed consumers about the myriad of ways Defendants would analyze, use, and monetize this sensitive data. Defendants' conduct violates the TDPSA and data brokers law and the Texas Insurance Code prohibition of unfair and deceptive acts and practices in business of insurance. The state of Texas consents that the proceedings is in public interest that brings action to the end to penalize privacy and financial harms caused by defendants' conduct. Yeah, and so that's about it. Like, this is going to be like a lot of jurisdictional stuff and further statements, but we've got basically the entire picture here. This is absolutely fucking deranged. I use the app and then I enter NASCAR race. You have on this app on my burner phone? Yeah. What if someone hacked into that too? Yeah, that's another big issue, right? I had some Allstate execs saying over in my hotel in the suites, started bragging about this at breakfast to each other like a year ago, but maybe it was something else scummy that they were bragging about. I secretly spit in their food. Good. She loves me, really? Aw, cute. Why don't you both smooch? You're allowed to, listen, normally I don't let the chatters smooch, but you two can smooch and chat if you want to.